Hi, KOG here. I'm here for deep dive into G-Idle Super Lady. Now, I'm changing this up. I'm gonna try this way because first of all, this video has been. They have finally they gave us so-called official translation as subtitles, so that's good. Number two, uh, it's pretty well done. It's not that bad. Secondly, and lastly, I believe that it wasn't the lyrics here. It was a lot more symbolism and visual cues that were more important in this music video. So let's get going. Now, it starts. We don't have to cover these. I think they're done pretty well. So now, one thing here though, I like the fact that she used "I'm a god" rather than "goddess." Goddess conjure up, like a beautiful woman, very elegant and like a goddess. But that's not what she's meaning here. She's talking about someone like almighty powerful. So obviously, the choice of the word God is, I think, it's great. Uh, Now everything else is pretty good, except they said war, 여긴. Here it is. But we are on war. Now, I don't understand we're on war. I think there's no stuff like mercy here. It's war. But that sounds much better. I think this is a little, but acceptable. Now, next, if you stop me, block me, slay it, it's pretty close. Now here, what's interesting is this 억소리 나는 사치 was translated to wow, jaw-dropping luxury. Now I really didn't like this one because sachi here it's indulgence, but it is luxurious, but it's indulgence, as in just throwing away money, wasting money. So it is very negative term here, especially 억소리 나는. And ok is something, the sound you make when you get hit or you're feeling bad or you're disgusted. Like ok, that's what it means. So here it says wow. I mean, this just sounds too positive, and I think it messes with the meaning of the song. The whole thing is about the guys, the men have this. Some men have that obvious pretentiousness and BS, and they're fake, and they're just wasting money. Just ugh. Now that's the feeling and the flow. But here it just suddenly goes, wow, jaw-dropping luxury, like as if it's something that ladies want. I don't think she's saying that's what she wants. She's saying ugh. Now there's another interesting thing about this line here. Ok also means 100 million. Okay, so he says 억소리, the sound of a million, doesn't make sense. And she doesn't mean it that way, but it does conjure up like whenever something is really expensive, like 100 million won is about $130,000 US. So it's like oh, my car is 2억, 3억. They say a lot of ok. So I think she's pointing her finger at it and she's making fun of them. Yep. And the rest is pretty good. I mean, totally passable. I might do a little differently, but I think it's passable. Now, this is the part it bothered me when I watched the music video. It was repeated so often that I realized, actually that's like the only thing I caught, I think, because I was busy looking at all the imagery and, hey, come on, man. It's just, there were beautiful ladies and all stuff. Anyway, and so 멋지게 it means beautiful, like good looking, cool. You know, that's what it means. It's like it's simply cool or like good looking. But here it says tougher. Uh, I I cannot connect that put together. Now I know that the music video and the song is about like strong women. So they would like to say tougher, maybe, but it's not. It's just not what it says. It just this doesn't translate at all. And the word nom here is another interesting word that it 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 signifies a man or a guy. However, it's very derogatory. It's like you can put this nom thing any behind anything, even something positive, and it means something. For example, like a teacher. Teacher is 선생, 선생님. Now, if you put nom at the end, 선생놈, that means male teacher who has a. We know there's something wrong with him. Maybe he's corrupted. He's a terrible teacher. He has bad temper, or there's something wrong with him. So it's very derogatory. Now there's a similar word for women. It's nyan, but compared to nom, it's so much stronger. You don't want to use that word. It's just very derogatory to anyone if you put nyan. It's functionally they're exactly the same, but for some reason, nyan is so much worse than nom. Okay, and the rest are pretty good. This is another one that was kind of difficult to translate. 독하다 해. That's my name. Right here. Now it's translated as savage. You guys, it's just a little different. Now, what 독하다 in literal sense means very concentrated, very potent, something that's very strong. That you call that 독해. So, like when you're describing a person who's 독해 means someone who is like very strong-willed, like crazy strong-minded. Nothing can stop them. That type of a thing. It's like, oh man, in order to save money, he didn't bought anything or ate anything for years, decades. So that's how he made his fortune. Man, that person is 독해, man. Now that's the kind of feeling to it. So something like strong or potent, like spiteful in some ways, but in many places in this song, I know it's very difficult to translate this because I don't think they have exact same thing in English. So they covered it with savage, and I think it's okay. Especially here, it's just what else are you gonna say? Now next, 그 겁에 질린 눈빛도 참 못됐으니까. Now 못됐으니까 means very bad, terrible person. I guess it could be naughty is okay, but naughty is not that bad. It's like, oh, he's naughty. That's different from, oh, he's a terrible person, right? Here it is more, she's a terrible person type of a thing, because 참 means very. 못됐으니까 bad person. So very bad person is what this is saying. So even the scared eyes are really bad, terrible, right? But here it's just naughty. It is much lighter than intended, and also naughty can mean somewhat might have sexual connotation to it. Here, 못됐으니까 has none, no sexual anything, just, yeah. 그 눈빛은 패왕색 패기 여왕의 자질. The baddie. Those eyes have, oops, sorry, have spirit of a killer diva. This is more literal. And qualification for a queen. And I think that was done okay. Now here again, rather than, this is very difficult to cover, so savage. I think savage fits much better here. Lastly, 그래, 배는 게 없거든. Do you know? Now, this literal meaning is I see nothing. I couldn't see anything is what it means. But it means I don't care, or I didn't give a, shit. It's actual meaning. It kind of describes the state where, you're so mad you're blind. There's a saying, right? Yeah, like that. In Korea, they said, "Oh, 눈에 뵈는 게 없어." You couldn't see nothing. It means he was so mad or so crazy, he was blinded from it. That's what this means. And here, it's pretty well done. I mean, there are little things like, even if the fire spreads everywhere, that's what it actually means. But even with burning flames, tougher than any other man. I mean, even with burning flames, I mean, it is a little bit different. But yeah, I think it's passable. It's all written here, so you guys can compare each sentences. But it's doable. It's doable. Now here, 뛰어들 테지 더 뜨겁게. Oops. Now this here, it doesn't say anything about into the flame. It just means I'll jump in, with more gusto, or hotter. That's what it actually means. Not literally hot, but I'll jump into flame hotter than ever. Well, I mean, as far as you can kind of understand the flow, right? I mean, so in general, I believe they got so much better than before in giving us a translation. It wasn't perfect, but it is impossible to be perfect. Is it like pretty darn good? I wouldn't say that. But I totally think it's possible. I think it's decent. I mean, a couple places, I think the one who translated just went a little too far and just interjecting his or her idea of what this song was about. But overall, I think it was pretty good. Anyway, thank you very much. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.